Iconic fashion moments. Marilyn Monroe's pink dress. There's been a lot of memorable outfits featured in films over the years. You probably recognize this, and even this. But I know for a fact that you recognize this dress. First worn by Marilyn Monroe in her 1953 film, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, this show-stopping pink gown is so iconic that even if you've never seen the film it's from, you know of it. Today we'll be talking about Marilyn Monroe's infamous pink satin gown and its lasting impact on fashion and pop culture. So let's get into it. Norma Jean Mortensen, better known as Marilyn Monroe, is easily one of the most famous actresses who's ever lived. Born in 1926, Marilyn struggled with her sudden rise to fame, and many aspects of her private life, from her relationships to her mental health, were the subject of public scrutiny. After passing away unexpectedly and under suspicious circumstances at the early age of 36, Marilyn cemented herself as a Hollywood legend and pop culture icon. Her characteristics and fashion choices continue to be referenced to this day, with two of her most memorable being this white cocktail dress from 1955's The 7-Year Itch and the pink floor-length gown from 1953's Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Both dresses were designed by Hollywood legend and longtime Marilyn Monroe collaborator William Trevia. Besides helping cement Marilyn as a bankable star and undeniable sex symbol, the aforementioned pink dress itself has become legendary in the years since the film's release. Let's get into the history behind the gown first. Interestingly enough, it was a last-minute addition. During production of the film, Marilyn came under fire for a series of nude photos she'd taken prior to her film career, and the scandal prompted the studio to make changes to her wardrobe in the film in an attempt to have her appear less overtly sexual. If you've watched the movie, you'll understand how ironic that is. In the scene in question, Marilyn was originally supposed to be wearing a revealing, jewel-encrusted showgirl outfit, which was quickly swapped out for the more conservative, floor-length pink satin gown that we know and love. It was initially envisioned to have black opera-length gloves along with black pumps, but for some unknown reason, Trevia swapped out the gloves shortly before filming in favor of a pair of matching two-toned pink gloves. The switch itself was genius, as it elevated the outfit outside of the ordinary and made it all the more impactful. The gown itself was lined with black fabric to ensure that nothing would show through, and was specifically given a looser fit so Marilyn could dance as necessary. Marilyn herself must have loved the gown, as she wore a white version, minus the bow and with the addition of a white fur stole, to the 1953 premiere of Call Me Madam. For those unaware, in the scene, Marilyn is not only playing a slightly cruel joke on her ex-fiancé, but is satirizing the personification and demonization of her character throughout the movie.
No!
Her performance is over the top and cheeky, saying, "Sure, I like gifts and diamonds, but why shouldn't I? Men are just as shallow in their own way."
Don't you know that a man being rich is like a girl being pretty? You might not marry a girl just because she's pretty, but my goodness, doesn't it help?
To this day, the quote-unquote gold digger female stereotype still prevails, and in a way, this outfit is directly associated with it. Hell, even ex-playmate Anna Nicole Smith, whose marriage to 89-year-old billionaire J. Howard Marshall created a major scandal in the 90s, dressed up as Marilyn in the pink dress, as well as other homages to the actress. A subtle F you to the public that had painted her as a shallow woman taking advantage of an innocent old man. Besides dozens of celebrities imitating the moment, especially on Halloween, there are parodies and homages galore in music videos, TV shows, and even in other films. But properly replicating the look is not as simple as putting on a pink dress and a diamond necklace and calling it a day. It's in the finer details of the ensemble and understanding the intent and symbolism of the outfit itself. Now, let's talk about some notable iterations and reinterpretations of the gown. Material Girl. One of the earliest recreations of Marilyn's dress, at least to my knowledge, was in Madonna's music video for her 1984 hit Material Girl, which to this day is still one of the best karaoke songs in existence. While the singer didn't actually write the lyrics to her hit, she emphasized that she felt its concept applied to her life at the time. In a 1986 interview with Company magazine, she stated, quote, "I'm very career-oriented. You are attracted to people who are ambitious that way too, like in the song Material Girl. You are attracted to men who have material things because that's what pays the rent and buys you furs. That's the security. That lasts longer than emotions," and went on to explain her choice for recreating the diamond scene the following year with New York Daily News. Quote, "Marilyn was made into something not human in a way, and I can relate to that. Her sexuality was something everyone was obsessed with and that I can relate to. And there were certain things about her vulnerability that I'm curious about and attracted to." The music video itself is intercut with scenes of Madonna replicating Marilyn's dance, and follows a plotline that revolves around Madonna rejecting men who offer her diamonds and money, flipping the association we as the audience have with both the dress and the song's lyrics. The scene is filmed in a recreation of the set in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and the overall look is a practically perfect homage that cleverly takes the audience's perception of the source material and subverts it. Birds of Prey. Released in 2020, this female-driven flick takes the most popular character from 2016's Suicide Squad,
Harley Quinn, nice to meet ya,
and gives her her own movie with a brand new wardrobe. While I love the intention with this jumpsuit, from a construction standpoint, I have a few qualms. Because of the type of fabric, as well as the amount of movement occurring, the crotch area looks a touch baggy and unrefined, puckering in some awkward places. It reduces the elegance of the moment, even if it is in Harley's imagination. Because the silhouette of the ensemble is so different, I wish other details had been perfected, like the two-tone gloves, for instance. But I do appreciate some other details, like Harley's diamond choker, which features the gem that sets the film's story in motion. I also really love the bright fuchsia color. It feels more appropriate for 2020 than Marilyn's bubblegum pink dress. It also happens to be a color that Harley wears throughout the film, so it doesn't seem out of character. For a scene that's barely 2 minutes long, it sure makes an impact and is one of the strongest visuals in the entire movie. Also, I love that this is Ewan McGregor's second time being featured in a film with this musical number. Diamonds. I already know there are going to be some people who don't think this should be considered an interpretation of Marilyn's gown, but I'm going to politely disagree. First, Normani's song with Megan Thee Stallion directly references the original song, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, in the lyrics. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. And the music video itself is intercut with footage from Birds of Prey, which, as I already mentioned, Harley Quinn dresses as and imitates Marilyn. It'd be kind of silly to not consider Normani's ensemble a reference at that point. The silhouette of her outfit more closely resembles Nicole Kidman's in Moulin Rouge, which, considering Normani's love of the 2000s, is probably not a coincidence. The color, fabric, and styling of her outfit is a clear ode to Marilyn's dress, and I'm obsessed with the addition of the nails on the gloves. It gives the look a little more edge and makes it feel more in line with Normani's aesthetic. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. The brilliant show regularly made references to other musical acts, from the Spice Girls to Fifth Harmony to Ed Sheeran.
Push them boobs up just for yourself. Wear 6-inch heels just for yourself.
If it's just for myself, shouldn't I be comfortable?
No.
So it was hardly a surprise when they recreated the Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend scene in their unique way. As she's done throughout the show, Rebecca creates a musical fantasy in an attempt to work through her real-life problems, which, in this case, is a love triangle.
I wasn't really listening, but I can see the center of the triangle is little old me.
In the musical sequence, she does an impersonation of Marilyn, which includes her signature breathy voice, her perceived childish and naive demeanor, and of course, cheesy sexual innuendos.
Is this a triangle?
No, that's a shoe.
Is this a triangle?
No, that's you.
So I'm a triangle?
What? No.
1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 3, go!
This is actually one of my favorite interpretations of the gown, even if it looks incredibly different at first glance. I'm absolutely obsessed with the color. It's a gorgeous azure blue, which is not only eye-catching, but complements the actress in a way that pink wouldn't have. The actual shape and construction of the gown is pretty spot on in a way others forget. From the slightly loose fit to the black lined dress, the bow, and the belt. The only thing it's missing is the two-toned gloves, but honestly, most people get that wrong. Glee. This performance happened long after I'd stopped watching the show, but it was still fun to see it come up during the research of this video.
Boys are like lumps of coal. They're dirty and cheap and they get hot when they're rubbed. And some turn into diamonds. So collect as many as you can.
The performance, which is a mashup of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend and Material Girl a la Moulin Rouge, is actually pretty fun to watch. And I do believe that the costumes, while probably out of an actual Glee Club's budget, could realistically be purchased by high schoolers and, more importantly, be appropriate for their age. Unlike some other outfits we've seen on the show, the pink dresses, other than their color, don't have much in common with Marilyn's, from the fabric choice to neckline to overall shape. But with the addition of the pink gloves, costume jewelry, and hair, you can immediately spot it as an homage to Marilyn Monroe. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even be bringing up an iteration like this, but I thought it was important to show that copying every detail of this outfit isn't necessary to make it recognizable. Also, I love all the different body types we get to see in it. One thing that I really hate about this look is the clear, rubbery straps holding the dress in place. I know we all tried getting away with that in the 2010s, but it looks awful. Kylie Jenner. It's tough to judge this dress the same way I did the others, but I'll do my best. Kylie does your standard Marilyn imitation. Blonde wig, beauty spot, and all. But what I find most fascinating about the photo series is how symbolic it is. Say what you will about the Kardashian-Jenner clan, but in name recognition alone, they're probably the only women in recent years who've come close to Marilyn. Kylie in particular has taken up space not only as a point of reference in fashion, but is also perceived as a shallow sex symbol who wants nothing more from men except their fame and money. I always think it's fun when celebrities slyly comment on their public perception, like this legendary photo shoot with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie post-affair rumors, or Taylor Swift's Look What You Made Me Do music video. The look itself is pretty spot on, so I have nothing to say in that regard. Gossip Girl. Starting in the very first season of Gossip Girl, Blair Waldorf constantly makes references to her love for Audrey Hepburn, and has numerous fantasy sequences inserting herself in iconic Audrey films like Breakfast at Tiffany's, Sabrina, and My Fair Lady. The parallels between the two chic and elegant brunettes are apparent and undeniable, to the point that when Serena van der Woodsen has her own dream sequence, she sees herself as Marilyn and Blair as Audrey. While Serena flirts and dances with various men, a la Marilyn in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, her moment is interrupted by Blair as Holly Golightly, who promptly steals Dan Humphrey away. The scene references not only the women's perceived personalities, Blair, elegant and regal, Serena, seductive and shallow. But from a narrative standpoint, it captures everything you need to know about the two characters and their relationship. My only qualm is that while Blake Lively looks fantastic, the ensemble is a pretty poor recreation of the original, especially when you consider the costume budget in Gossip Girl. The dress, while pink with a bow, doesn't look anything like Marilyn's. Plus, the gloves don't even match. Overall, it works in the context of the show, but I think visually it could have been better. Which ode to Marilyn's pink dress was your favorite? And what iconic fashion moment should I look at next? Comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye!